One of XRP's largest catalysts is still in play at this moment. We're going to be talking about exactly what I'm addressing here, but this is a catalyst that I think every XRP holder should be paying attention to because it's something that's not just going to affect the short-term value of XRP or even the short-term success of XRP, but also even the long-term success and value of XRP as well. So this is going to have a huge impact on XRP's success. And when we're thinking about that, we're also taking a quick look at how the market dynamic around XRP is also changing. For an example, just recently on August 5th, we got a big update from the SEC. They declared crypto liquid staking activities are not considered securities. The SEC today, compared to like 2024, has completely shifted their views and their focus as well. They want to make sure that crypto itself is as successful as possible. They don't want to fight this industry anymore. They want innovation to thrive. And I think that this is so important to focus on just from an investor point of view because it's that huge moment, right? It's that huge moment for the industry to be taken serious. It's that huge moment for the technology to become a very important part of not just, crypto itself, but also the entire world. Because what the US does, and I've mentioned this many times on this channel, what the US does, every nation watches, right? Like if we drop a pin, everyone hears it. So when the SEC is now flipping on crypto, this admin is now flipping on crypto, greenlighting major activities around crypto, every other nation is looking at it and they're wondering why. They're starting to do their research. They're starting to wonder what's happening here. It's just like with tokenization, right? We're starting to see tokenization become a huge thing, not just in the US, but around the world. It also reminds me of like the UK or the UAE, or even when we go over to Hong Kong, like all of these areas wanted to become a crypto hub because the US wanted to become a crypto hub. The US is making all of these nations fall in line. So now when we focus on what the SEC is doing, this is accelerating all of that. But focusing on this, we do have over here from Nate Garashi, the SEC says certain liquid staking tokens are not securities. Think last hurdle in order for the SEC to approve staking in spot Ethereum ETFs. The reason liquid staking tokens will be used to help manage liquidity within spot Ethereum ETFs, something that was a concern for the SEC. So yeah, I do think that the SEC is starting to really kind of move all of the obstacles for Ethereum ETFs and spot ETFs, especially around, staking them in terms of like earning yield on them. But I also think that this is going to open up the market for even more ETFs as well. Because again, just around staking itself, we know that staking has always been focused on as a threat for the traditional financial world. We've talked about this even back in 2022 and 2023. 2023 was a huge year for the attack on DeFi and even staking itself. Kraken got hit with a huge fine. And when we think about that today, this all changed. Now, again, we're mainly looking at what this can do for ETFs. I think that this could definitely be a big game changer. I think that this could also greenlight additional ETFs just from the overall move from the SEC, because again, it seems as though they're easing on almost everything. So we're still waiting on altcoin ETFs to get approved, which takes me to my next conversation piece here, right? If we're going to start to see the focus on spot Ethereum ETFs to get them as successful as possible, for pretty much move every obstacle out of the way for them, we need to look at the altcoin ETFs as well. We have this XRP ETF to be approved by September or October. Bloomberg's Eric Bakunis says an approval could come as early as Q3 with SEC softening and the Ripple case wrapping up. Catalyst for an XRP pump. Now, this is not that big catalyst that I'm talking about. I do think that this is one catalyst for XRP. But when we think about the ETFs, the main thing that I'm focused on with the SEC is how much they're easing on crypto. It's not just about staking. It's also about these stablecoins. Just recently on April 4th, for an example. This got posted on August 5th, but this goes back to April 4th. This was a statement on stablecoins. Compliant stablecoins now count as cash equivalents. Yeah, we know that they do. This was another big move from the SEC that I just wanted to bring up, because this is a huge push from the SEC to change everything. This year has been filled with move after move after move from this admin and from this SEC to make sure everything is greenlit and in place, to pretty much get everything approved all at once. Even the ETFs for altcoins, there's been a lot of speculation on if they're going to have that infrastructure in place to really kind of just approve all ETFs. And the infrastructure that I'm talking about is the framework that they've been creating around altcoin ETFs. It's a framework that any issuer that wants to, issue out an ETF for crypto, all they have to do is follow that framework and make sure that they can get approved. That's it. So as long as everything checks out, the approval process will be so short compared to the previous one. So when we think about how bullish the SEC has been on crypto, they've been extremely bullish. Even more recently, Paul Atkins put out a post on August 5th saying, under my leadership, the SEC is committed to providing clear guidance on the application of the federal securities laws to emerging technologies and financial activities. And we have today's staff statement on liquid staking is a significant step forward in clarifying the staff's view on crypto asset activities that do not fall within the SEC's jurisdiction. I am pleased that the SEC's Project Crypto initiative is already producing results for the American people. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think about what's happening today compared to going back to 2024 or 2023 or 2022 or even 2021. Guys, we have put up with 4 years of anti-crypto nonsense. Today, we're seeing that all change with the SEC, which takes me back to the ETF. Why are we focused on the XRP ETF? This is definitely a part of that big catalyst, but the biggest thing that I am focused on with all of this is the SEC lawsuit. Let me paint a little picture. We go back to December of 2020, and I know it's not a good time for XRP holders because December 22nd, 2020, boom, the announcement hits. We're suing Ripple for selling securities, claiming XRP is a security. This is from the SEC. If we fast forward almost 5 years later, it's still a cloud above us that we have to deal with. But since that time, so much has happened, so much has changed. The SEC is now approving everything, changing everything, except one thing. And that is the Ripple lawsuit. We go back to what Brad Garlinghouse said on June 27th because it's been a whole month and some time since. Ripple is dropping our cross appeal, and the SEC is expected to drop their appeal as they've previously said. We're closing this chapter once and for all and focusing on what's more important, building the internet of value. Lock in. We have been waiting patiently for an update from the SEC. But all we've been getting is everything but this. We've been seeing huge approvals across the board for liquid staking, stablecoins. We have this huge move with, even the Project Crypto. Obviously, it didn't launch on August 5th, but, over the last couple of weeks, it's just been nothing but bullish talk about crypto and crypto and crypto from the SEC. But this lawsuit is still in play. And it's crazy to me because this is an American crypto company, right? It's a blockchain-based American company with one of the largest crypto assets tied to it. The question here is, what's taken the SEC so long? But the biggest thing that I want you guys to realize here is this. This is from Bitwise's CIO, Matt Hougan. I wrote my CIO memo this week on the SEC Chair Paul Atkins Project Crypto. There's a lot to say. I'll post more tomorrow, but one thing is this: it's not priced in. The big question, the most obvious question to ask about Atkins' vision is whether it's priced in. If the markets were already anticipating this turn from the SEC, from crypto antagonist to crypto catalyst, then it should already be factored into the price of Ethereum, Solana, Uniswap, and other assets. Maybe. But I'll close with this. I was caught off guard by the speech. I've studied and written about crypto nonstop for the past 8 years. I've long been bullish about the future of crypto, and I've said that all assets will eventually move over blockchain-based rails. But after reading the speech, I'm realizing I have to think bigger and more to a faster timeline. If it wasn't priced in for me, I'm going to guess it wasn't priced in for others. And this is the big thing that I want everyone to understand here. Everyone thinks that this lawsuit wrapping up with Ripple and the SEC is a big nothing event. Oh, it's probably going to have XRP crashing once we get the announcement from the SEC. And oh, nobody's going to care at that time because it's been too long. I want you guys to understand it's not just about price action here, because I definitely think that it's a huge catalyst for price action. I think that this will be a huge catalyst for not just price action, but for ETF approvals, for institutional adoption, for announcements of partnerships in and around the US. This is going to cause so much bullish news around XRP that I don't believe that it's priced in. This is the largest XRP catalyst that is simply not priced in because of the snowball effect that happens after we get the case wrapped up. But what's crazier about all of this is we have over here, and I don't want to go off of dates. I'm telling you guys right now, this August 15th date, I'm not committed to it. I don't think anyone should hold any weight behind this, but we have here from Zach Rector, SEC and Ripple highly incentivized to have dismissals on file by August 15th. And if we look at this, we do have what are the odds of the SEC and Ripple dropping the appeals by August 15th status update. And here we have from Mark, I'm not a gambling man, but the parties are highly incentivized to have dismissals on file by then, or at least to be able to tell the court that they are in the process of doing so. So we are just waiting for something to happen here. We are in limbo right now. But again, I don't think that this is priced in. And this is going to severely impact the market opportunity for XRP around ETFs, around institutional adoption, around growth, around tokenization moves, you name it. Everything around XRP, the second that this case wraps up, is going to go parabolic, including price action. So we are focused on this. We are waiting patiently. And again, the timeline here can be perfect for September and October. We are just simply waiting. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.